lot more magic. I thought it was gonna be some crazy mess every 10 seconds. It was not. It's Sierra. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be me deciding how to tackle my DNF list. So let's get on into it. So I have quite a few books I DNF'd. Some of them were soft DNF, so we're gonna go through which ones I will say are a yes or a no for rereading and my reasons why. This is not to be like harmful towards the books or any books that you guys want to read. It's just books that just didn't work out for me and books that I need to get back into. Because some of these books are literally on my 25 for 2025 list, or books that I just really want to read, but maybe the physical copy just didn't work or something like that. You know, there's reasons, okay? Let me get them to you. Starting off with number 1, which is Midnight Feast. I will not be returning to this book. I don't know. I tried to read it when it came out. I got it from Half Price Bookstore, and I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it was like the POVs, but something just didn't hit right with me. It was just like, it felt like too much going on. And then I tried to reread it again because I'm used to reading multi-POV, but I still couldn't grasp who the hell was doing what. Because even one of the first characters, I thought she was a guest, and she's not a guest, she's the owner. But then later on, we have someone else who's in charge, so I'm very confused on who's actually in charge. So it was just like I was just like, I don't have time for this to figure out like who is important and who's not. And then yeah, one of the characters, his ex-girlfriend is just a shady bitch. And I'm just like, I don't have time for that either. Like, I don't know. Maybe it just didn't sit right with me, but I will not be returning. Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman. I will not be returning to that book. Too much backstory. It was a lot of backstory, and it felt like, it was just like, let's do this long ass intro of what happened in the past. And then even the parts where it was like in the present, it was a lot less dialogue. So I just really had no idea what the fuck was going on, to be quite honest. Like, she was sharing that, the main character was sharing that she is like not even a lawyer, but she deals with cases and she talks to people within the prison system. And I was just very confused on how those people related to the story at all. And it was like various people who she was talking to. So I didn't see the connection. And I was not going to keep on reading to try to figure out what the connection was that had to do with the actual story and who was found dead in the water. Like, I was not in the mood for that. The American Roommate Experiment, I also will not be returning. Because I tried. I really did try. Because I made this point a while ago that I only read Black romances. And I wanted to give this one a try. I wanted to, because everyone's saying like Emily Henry's really good. And I'm like, I don't know. Abby Jimenez is really good. I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, let me go ahead and try this one because I got it from the thrift store. And it's not for me. I'm sorry, it needs to be a Black romance. But also, even then, I'm picky about my Black romances too. Because why is the male character referring to the female main character by name every other line? Like, it would be like, hi, her name. What are you doing? Her name. Why do we don't need to keep seeing her name pop up. We know who she is and we know who you are. Why can't we just, don't do that. It was very annoying. It was very repetitive and I did not like that. So I would not be returning. Legendborn, I will be returning. I was listening to it through Libby on audio. And I did not know what the fuck was going on. I think I need to read the physical copy for that one because I got lost so fast. And I was only like an hour in and I was still so fucking confused. At first I had it down and then I got lost once they went to, once a few of the characters went to this part of the university in the room where there was people making decisions. As soon as we got there, I got so fucking confused. I had no idea what the hell was happening. So I have to read the physical copy for that one. Immortal Dark, maybe that probably have to be a physical read too. I don't know. It just didn't. I couldn't get into it audibly as much as I wanted to, because I want to read like more Black horror books and it's like Black vampire. So I'm like, okay, interesting. I haven't read a vampire book since Twilight, and that's because I read all the Twilight books and I watched the first movie and it was shit and I never went back. So I'm very scared to dive into anything vampire like. I watched Interview with the Vampire. That was really good. I'm just skeptical when it comes to the book, because I don't know, because Twilight ruined the vampire space for me. Like, and I tried to watch some show. I forgot the name. I think it was Legacies. I tried to watch it. I couldn't even watch that. I was just like, I can't. The only show that I could watch that was anything fantasy like vampires and werewolves was The Origin. That was it. That was the only one I could watch. And I kind of liked it. It was a very interesting concept. But vampires, I don't know what it is, but ever since Twilight, I don't know. I don't trust it. One Dark Window, I will not be returning to it. And I wanted to love it so bad, but the audiobook did not hit the way I wanted it to hit. It just didn't. And I don't know if I will read the physical copy. I highly doubt it, because I don't have time to sit down and read a whole bunch of books. Just because I really want to read Legendborn, I really want to read Immortal Dark. And that's probably going to be the most I can do, because I feel like both books are extremely long, which is why a lot of extremely long books I'll listen to the audio version, but I don't know if I can read One Dark Window. I don't think it's super long, but I don't know. It just didn't work out for me. The Death of Jane Lawrence. I don't know. Because I do love that it's Crimson Peak inspired. It has some inspiration from that, which is a really great movie. The cinematography, the details, just, oh, I love that movie. But the book took too damn long to get to that point. Like, I literally just stopped it, because I was just like, what is taking so long to just get to the fucking house? Like, I don't need all this background information, him being a doctor and her helping him out. Like, I didn't need that. It didn't get to the point as fast as I wanted it to. So I don't know if I'll get back to it. The Library of the Dead, no. I found it on audio on Libby, and I was interested in it. I got 30 minutes and got bored, DNF. Not coming back. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, absolutely the fuck not. I'm so pissed about that book, because it's not what I expected at all. It was not it for me. I thought it was going to be a lot more magic. I thought it was going to be some crazy mess every 10 seconds. It was not. It was very mild. Like, if you're trying to get into fantasy, supernaturally type of books, this would be for you. But for someone who has read like Blood at the Root, or even has watched like fantasy movies, who have been in the deep end at some point, this is not for us, babe. This was like very timid, very mild, and I was bored as hell. Because, my God, what do you mean to tell me there's like only a few moments, and even then it's not even like magical swirls going around the room or anything like that. It's very much like, oh, they did a spell, and then 2 months later they're like, oh, someone's in a hospital. It doesn't give me anything. The Resort, I will not be continuing. I got bored. What Have We Done? Also no. See, the premise sounded good. The prologue was amazing. Chapter 1, awful. Chapter 1 was awful. I was like, what the hell just happened? What is happening? It was so disjointed from the actual way it was flowing, and it didn't work out. More Than You'll Ever Know, I will not be returning to that one as well. And I love me a dual timeline story with like kind of like a historical fiction type of thing to it too, where it's like, oh, this happened like maybe 100 years ago, and then in the present time this is what's happening, and they're like trying to figure out what happened or whatever, correlating. Like, I love that kind of mess. I love it in Delicious Monsters, but in here it just didn't hit, and I thought it was going to. So that was unfortunate. For me, it was something that was anticipating. Rotten Tommy, yes, because I have the physical copy and I wanted to read it. I just didn't get a chance to, so it got DNF'd. The Saturday Night Ghost Club, maybe another like horror book that I wanted to read. It just wasn't what I expected when it came to the format of the book. I wasn't expecting it to be from the perspective of a grown man, like recounting his childhood. I thought it was going to be from the child's perspective of being in this mess. I thought it was going to be more present. So it was just like, oh, okay. I don't know. So I might read it. The Year of the Witching, I will be returning to that. It didn't start off strong for me at first, but I am willing to reread it because I also want to read House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. So I'm willing to give it another chance. I just have to read it. I don't know. I have to read it a little bit later. I'll probably read it after reading some of my mystery books. Maybe it'll build up more suspense for The Year of the Witching when I read it. So hopefully it'll be better then. So Let Them Burn. I will be coming back to it. It just took me. I started to read it like 2 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I stopped because I had no idea who the hell was what, and I was so confused. I had kept going back and forth in my pages because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I don't know if I need the audiobook or just reread it from the beginning, and I'll have to do that when I'm in my fantasy-ish type of realm, which is unfortunate because I already passed that after reading Bones at the Crossroads. So hopefully I get the energy to read it this year. If not, it'll be a next year read. All the Missing Girls, no. I got bored. London After Midnight, no. I returned the book back to the thrift store. See, here's the thing. London's history is very interesting because they stole everything anyway. And then they had all this traumatic stuff going on around, like, just all the different stuff, like with their Great Fire, that started from I think it was not a pastry, like a cafe, because it was where they made bread. That's where the fire started. That's where their Great Fire happened, and it took out like a third of the city, really, to be quite honest. They had a lot of plagues. They had they had the serial killer. I can't think of his name right now, but they've had so much going on, and I thought the stories were gonna be like that, and they were more fictional based from what I remember. They had some spin on it when they related to the actual history of it, but I thought it was gonna be straight up historical, like not historical fiction. I thought it was gonna be straight up history of each event told by like a historian or even just a person who is very familiar with their history of like what happened by detail. So it wasn't what I expected. Crazy Rich Asians, I will not be returning. That book is so boring. I don't know why y'all can hype that shit up. Even I fell asleep on the movie. I was bored on the movie too. I don't know why. I don't know why that movie is so hyped up. I don't get why the book is so hyped up. I was bored as hell. Bored. Didn't like anybody. Moving on. The Assassin Game. No, I donated that book. That book was terrible. Introduction to Metaphysics. I do still read that from time to time because I am a spiritual girly. It's heavy because it's very academic heavy. A lot of big ass words that I gotta look up and try to understand. They do have like footnotes, and they do have like a glossary and stuff. But it's just like you gotta like sit and process what the hell is happening. So that one is like when I'm doing like my spiritual work and understanding of metaphysics and just just doing that type of like more of a actual studying. That's when I do that. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, be sure to like it. Comment below a book that on my list that maybe you've read and maybe you can convince me to read it. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Until next time, love you guys. Bye.